On this episode, we ditched the itinerary for a whirlwind Walt Disney World adventure filled with snacks, sips, a whole lot of plan changes, and even a snake. Today's July 8th, 2025, and this is episode 787 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys, make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Well, I hope everybody had a good July 4th, and we are going to talk about ours.
Yeah, and we'll preface this by saying we went and kind of did Disney like two people that had never done Disney nor run a Disney podcast. So the past 2 weekends and the time that we got to spend with Lucie and Caleb for us were really they were about connection, not content for these 2 weekends.
Oh,
you know?
100%.
So we'll say that. It was something I think we all needed. We hadn't gotten to see them and be with them in so long, over a year and all. So back-to-back weekends in Austin and then Disney seemed perfect. So we are going to talk about kind of what we did and some of the things and what went right and what didn't, pretty much. So let's start. So we headed down on July 3rd that morning.
Thursday morning.
Yeah, we drove down, and Lucie and Caleb had been there since Sunday when we actually flew back from Austin. They flew back they flew to Orlando from Austin, and they were at Coronado all week. They're going to be there from Sunday to Saturday.
With her family.
Yep. And then her family was going to head out, and she was like, well, you know, if you guys want to come down, crash with us at Coronado for 2 nights, come on down. So, of course, we said absolutely. I had some ideas ahead of time as far as like plans of what we could potentially do to try and catch the fireworks on July 3rd, because they do at Magic Kingdom, you know, those same fireworks on the 3rd and the 4th, which is great because a lot more opportunity for people to see them. But I knew we didn't want to be inside of a park. And to be honest, the fireworks weren't at the top of our list of things to do.
No.
Oddly enough. So they will be in the future. There will be some time that we'll say, hey, let's do a whole July 4th Disney. It's funny because we've been there the past 2 July 4ths and we haven't seen the Magic Kingdom fireworks. And again, not necessarily by design, but just because it wasn't what was important to us. You know what I mean? Like last year we took Lacey and her friend Kendall.
Yes.
We did water parks. We were at
the Drury and we saw the fireworks.
Yeah,
like
we did
a
from
whole
Epcot.
bunch.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't see was Magic Kingdom's fireworks from there. We saw like everything you could imagine, right?
Oh, yeah.
From Epcot over towards whatever's happening at Hollywood Studios and beyond, like just surrounding areas, the Orlando Eye and Icon Park, like all of that, which was super cool.
Yeah.
So let's start with our weekend. We had to record that morning, so we were going to head down, and we're going to end up meeting Lucie and Caleb because we just went ahead, stopped by Coronado, dropped our stuff off, and then we made our way over to Riviera, didn't we?
Yes, and there's no good way from Coronado to Riviera, so we just Ubered.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your best bet, you know, if you don't want to pay any sort of money, you would have to go to a park. Be it
Epcot, I would say, and then Skyliner.
Yeah. Well, no, you wouldn't want to go to Epcot. You want to go to Hollywood because remember Epcot, you're gonna have to go through the front with a bus takes you. Yeah. So in Epcot, you'd have to go all the way through the front entrance, all the way through Epcot just to get to the Skyliner to Riviera. But if you took it to Hollywood, then your bus stop, you hop right on the Skyliner there. For us, $15 was worth not going through all that, so we caught an Uber over there, right?
Yeah. So. Then we went and met them, and they were sitting at the bar, and it was awesome because Marcy and Ken were there that we haven't seen them in quite a while.
Yeah.
So that was really nice.
Yeah, if you've listened for some time, especially if you go back, Bar Riva's always been a regular spot of ours since it opened back in December of 2019. And part of that was, much like a Three Bridges, which we'll talk about later, is we made so many wonderful connections there with the wonderful cast members, many who have gone on to other areas, and now we go see them, which will be part of the reason you'll see where plans went slightly awry in the evening. So we specifically really went there because we knew Marcy and Ken were both working. And for the four of us, it's one of our favorite spots.
Yeah. And the usual drinks are good and food's good.
Yeah.
And speaking of drinks, they did have the Athletic Upside Down Golden Ale, which was really nice.
Yeah.
So you and I got one of those. And then I wanted the Arancini's, which is your seasonal risotto cheese truffle served with house-made marinara for $13.49. What is there, about 4, 5, or 6?
There might be 6 of them in there.
They're so good. I love
Yeah.
them.
It's a really good portion, for $13.49 here, and we love these. They're hearty. They're a great snack. Like, we knew that we were going to be going to Geo 82, and that part of, this portion of the day wasn't going to be meals, in a sense, you know? So it's like, all right, we kind of need something, because at this point, it's already 11:30 noon, right? And our Geo 82's at 2.
Yep.
So we're like, all right, we'll get a little snack or something. So, yeah, we sat there for a little bit and just caught up with more with Lucie and Caleb, who, of course, we had just seen 4 days prior. But it was nice to catch up with Marcy and Ken. It's insane when you start to look and go back at things like this because, we met Marcy and Ken around when this place opened, and there's some of the few that I feel like that are left there.
Yeah.
And so, we're talking to Ken and telling him about the girls and all. He's got kids that are 5 and 8 now that were 0 and 3 when we met him. So it's really cool to kind of, catch up with these folks and get to see them. They've seen our girls grow up. Like we've seen their kids grow up. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. A lot of fun. So from there, we actually were going to go get on the Skyliner, of course, to Epcot and heading up to the Skyliner. And it's a nice hot Florida day.
Boy, is it.
I grab Caleb because I'm like, and I think my brain thought it was Jeremy. And
they
then
were
I
walking
was
right
like,
up to the entrance to head over to Epcot, that Skyliner entrance area.
Yes. And there was a big black, nice racer just, going across that nice white concrete. So, and Caleb was gracious enough to, come on, guy, go ahead. Just walk behind him and, make sure he gets into the bushes safe and sound.
It's funny because we say this because obviously be alert, there are animals everywhere, right?
Yes, there are.
And so if you are someone who is not fond of these types of animals, as myself, it is good to know you may encounter one. I just thought it was so funny because we just spent that episode not long ago talking about phobias, and talking about, hey, we've really only seen them snakes twice there. One time in the queue at Cali River Rapids. There was the time I know at Fort Wilderness we were walking around, and then boom, it was like, hey, let's add to your list. And there he was. So,
and then it was funny because we were headed up to the Epcot entrance of the Skyliner ride, and it says Epcot, and Jeremy literally turned around and was like, this is the wrong way. We're supposed to go the other way. And I'm like, no, that was Hollywood. This is Epcot.
I will say in those situations, my brain just turns into mush and it doesn't know what to do or how to respond. So in my brain, I'm not even kidding. It literally thought at that moment, well, who cares? We're not even going the right way. We're supposed to be going to the other. I literally believed that until you're like, no, this actually is the way. And I had to look around and go, wait, if the Skyliners are going, then, oh yeah, they're right. This is how we go. So we hopped on and went on over to Epcot, right?
Yep. Went to Rose and Crown first because we came in that back way, and to see Holly, which was awesome. I love her.
Yeah. And these are another ones, at Rose and Crown, folks like Holly and Charlotte and Peter and Gavin and, all these wonderful folks, again, that we've met over the years there that have become friends to us. Lucie and Caleb have as well. I mean, Lucie and Caleb were one of the big reasons we even started going to Rose and Crown, I think, way back when we, started hanging out with them and going to Disney. So this was really this was a homecoming for Lucie and Caleb in many ways because, again, they hadn't been in over in a year.
Right.
They had got rid of annual passes and then just most recently decided, hey, you know what? I think we're ready to get them again. We're going to go for this week. We're actually going to go see them for Thanksgiving there, you know. And so as they started to plan out, they were like, it makes sense to get an annual pass again.
Right.
So once they were coming back, I think for them, this trip was really about kind of just, you know, falling right back in where they were, which was going to your favorite places, seeing your favorite people and things like that. So from there, we did stop by the shops there at the port of entry area. I can't remember if you shared about, well, we did on the, I think that one episode from car camping, and then we did the YouTube videos. But you had gotten some new Pandora stuff. There's a lot of new Pandora stuff out.
Yes, there is.
And honestly, they need to
And
stop.
they keep going.
They need to
They
stop
keep going.
right now.
Yeah, I got a stitch ring, and when she showed it to me, she showed it to me with 2 extra bands. That was gorgeous. And I was like, I'm going to wear it on my first finger. So, but the nice thing about the size, I actually can switch it and put it on different fingers. Well, unfortunately, because it's Stitch and he's got pointy ears and everything, I can't wear it all the time. So I can't wear it while I work. So I only wear it now at Disney. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get those 2 bands and wear it on my right hand. And if I want to switch it up and put it on my ring finger, sometimes, because it looks like almost a bridal set. It's so pretty.
It does, yeah.
I love it.
It really is.
So,
and they've got the whole new set of 6, right?
Yep.
We got Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto, right?
Yep.
They have those new charms. While at Coronado, they now have a brand new Coronado Springs Pandora charm.
Also, they have all the countries.
They do.
There's only 2 missing, but I think they are working on them.
Well, they're I did see that it said they had them pictured, I think, but it said I don't know if it had a release date, but they are releasing them a little bit slowly for all the countries through Epcot. I mean, for anybody that maybe collects Pandora, doesn't, because it's expensive. It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
But like, how do you collect them? Like, what is your reasoning for ones you get and don't get? And then you have multiple bracelets. Like,
I have 3 now. I know that's not many compared to other people. I don't know. I mean, like, I got the Wish, you know, like, I don't know, because part of me is like, yeah, I could get every one that I stay at, but I mean, that's so many. So I think I pretty much get what I love and then what I think might not be around. Like, there's pieces I have that a lady was, when she was taking them off, she was complimenting me and like, oh, wow, you have this one. And I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Like, you'll pretty much do anything Stitch.
Yes.
A limited edition that, of course, you want. You know, you're not going to get a limited edition just to get a limited edition.
Oh, 100%.
And then I guess you kind of have those moments, you know, the stuff like where, it might be a specific, you know, festival or something and something you really love from that design, but you're not getting every one. Or going on the cruises, you always get a set from the cruise. I just feel like now Pandora's making it harder for you to like have just specific things you like. You know what I mean? Because, well, I don't think you don't run the same way I do. Like, if I see a set, I either have to get it all or I'm not going to get any of it. Yeah. So like if I had a Pandora bracelet and I was like, hey, they have a Coronado Springs one now, and I know that they've had some other resort ones. If eventually they were to bring them out for all the resorts, if I bought that Coronado one, I'd be like, well, this is the start of something. I have to get everyone now. Right. Like, I have to. Or I just wouldn't buy it and be like, not doing it.
And going back to the countries, like Jeremy said, there was all of them out, but 2, she even showed me a bracelet. And basically I could have my own Epcot countries like bracelet. And I'm like, and I don't know how I feel about that, to be 1,000% honest. My Pandora bracelets are all over the place. She fixed them a little bit. So my one now Stitch bracelet does have all of my stitches on them.
I would imagine, though, by next year, April of 2026, you might have a full cruise line bracelet now, though, right?
Well, and I just started to say, and then my other Stitch bangle bracelet, she put all the cruise on there. Mm-hmm. So then, yes, as of next year when we go on the Destiny, I will get that because of being there. Yeah. I got Aurora's Castle for Disneyland. So I have a Christmas one.
Oh, yeah.
That I pull out and
Yeah.
I wear during the season of November 1st to obviously December 25th.
Yep. What I like them personally as a significant other is that it's something that you love and it's something I always know that I can get for you and you'll love it.
Yeah. Oh,
You know
100%.
I mean, we are the type of people that we kind of, we live our lives in a way that if there are things that we truly want, we'll find a way to get them throughout the year. We're not really the type of people that'll be like, in June, like, well, Christmas is in 6 months. I'll wait. We're often like, what? I'd like it now. I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the most financially responsible way to live, but it's how we live our life and love it. So I just love the fact that any holiday or birthday or whatever it may be can come. And I just know that I can find a piece of something, with those that you'll love, which is super cool. Like I already have in my brain a list of like, well, she's got a birthday coming up. And then after that, soon we'll be getting into the holidays. Like I got some stuff I can go get. So I love that part of it. But we went ahead and headed our way over to Geo 82 with Lucie and Caleb. She had made the reservation. Of course, they have not been.
Yep.
We had been once prior, and if you go to episode 779, you can get much more of a full rundown of what we thought. And then again, if you go to our YouTube channel, we are Main ST Magic on YouTube. We're starting to put out a lot more content, including like a monthly vlog series. And we go all through Geo 82, show you inside, some zero proof mocktails and some food then. But we did get a few things to eat. Got a couple things to drink. You and I went ahead and went with Manhattan in the morning again.
Yeah.
Which is their zero proof take on a Manhattan. Mm-hmm. And it's really good.
Really good.
It really is. This to me is crafted and done in such a well way that this could have been slipped into my mocktail pairing when we did Victoria and Albert's, and it would have fit absolutely perfect.
100%.
From the glass to the garnishes to the just the way it looks and the flavor, this is a true zero proof cocktail.
Yes.
So I'm really happy to see that here. Of course, they have the other one we talked about that last episode that is just a little more on the basic side, but it is good.
Well, and it was also our first time, and that was first opening. I almost got it, but I really wanted the Manhattan in the morning. I will get it again just to try it to see if maybe
it's changed a little.
Yeah, or if maybe they, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that's not changed are the glasses that are paper thin. So I was surprised. I thought they were at first. I saw them on another table, and they looked different. And again, I recounted what I thought they looked like. It wasn't correct. So we went to a photo, and Rhonda was like, I told you they're the same, and you were right. I was kind of surprised. We got the chef's selection of artisanal cheeses, cured meats, and accompaniments again. That is their charcuterie for $29.
So good.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's the best charcuterie that we've had on property?
Very close.
I'd say it's, we'd probably have to go back and have more direct comparisons to some we've had in the past, because again, this one is kind of most recent, but everything about it is outstanding.
Yeah.
I love a charcuterie that not only has your meats and cheeses and some of the other stuff that's kind of common, but I love when you're getting stuff like honeycomb and fruit preserves and, things like that, different types of breads and crackers. Like, I love this. And I don't know if it's...
I think it did well with us four, too.
It did very well. Very well with the four of us. And honestly, it's one, I don't know if it is quality of meat. I don't know if it's temperature of inside there, but you can nosh on that thing for 30 minutes and you don't really get the sweaty meats. You know what I mean? Like they don't turn into what we experienced when we did
we're also inside.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When we did the outside flower and garden over at the Yacht and Beach Grub and stuff, like, those meats were real sweaty, but these ones last. It's just, I love this thing. We did get something new that we had not had before. I'll let you talk about this. I'll give my thoughts on it, but I don't like these things. I don't like this.
Okay.
So
what we're talking about is the cannellini hummus.
Cannellini.
Okay.
Hummus.
That
so
way?
cannellini bean. It's using cannellini beans.
Oh.
As opposed to like some standard maybe chickpeas or things like that. Yeah.
So this is a pumpkin seed pesto, radish, preserved lemon, Fresno peppers, papadam for $14, and I really liked this.
The papadam is those giant thin crackers that it comes with,
which is very thin. but very good, very strange on itself.
It's the same thing they make the water glasses out of, I think.
Don't eat it by itself. I don't feel like, but
yeah,
I tried it by itself. I did not like it.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
How on its own it wasn't that good. And when in the season it was super dry. It was like it needed a dip.
Yes. Which was nice because we actually, between the four of us, or three of us, I guess, finished the crackers and we still had hummus. And the waitress was nice enough to ask if we wanted more. And she actually brought more.
That was really great.
Yeah.
And she asked another time, I believe. There was still a little bit left. Didn't she ask another time, do we need more crackers?
I think what happened is she forgot.
Oh, okay.
And
that
then,
Our server was fine. I was a little surprised that this was the service we received only a month into a brand new place like this.
I agree.
And there were some empty tables as they turned them over. So it's not as though it was, that first time we went, I mean, it was very new. It was very packed and we had outstanding service. And again, it could have been an off day for her.
100%.
That's fine, but it was just a little surprising. So, I would hate for that maybe to be someone's first impression or visit.
Which it was for Lucie and Caleb.
Yeah.
So, and I will say again, being the second time, I know there was rumors of it being like, what's it called? Oga's and it being
2 drink max and 45 minute.
But again,
we've not been told that once
nothing
mentioned of it.
Nope.
Yeah, and we were there for more than 45 minutes, I'm sure of it. I didn't timestamp it.
Yeah.
But we had to have been.
Yeah.
Right? Because we relaxed.
We
Enjoyed
did.
ourselves. I thought the hummus, I like the flavor of hummus. It's a whole texture thing for me.
Right. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really light and refreshing and so good. Because it was funny when we were talking about all the food, what we had, and Lucy was like, what about this? And Jeremy was like, and so we didn't have the hummus. So she's like, all right, well, let's get these two. So we did. And I thought they were very good. I would totally get this again.
Yeah. Yeah, these dishes that they are creating here, I will say, are so fitting to the environment, to, everything about this place. And I'm glad to see them doing some different things. Like a hummus and that crab, gusto and things like that. Things that you just can't find at every other little, bar or lounge throughout property. Yeah. So it's nice to see them doing a few different things like that. So we had a little bit of time to kill after that because Lucy was nice enough. She got us an individual lightning lane to Cosmic Rewind.
Yes.
So we did a little shopping, walked through creations. I love going through like I don't want to ever get to a point, like even if we were local, like I don't want to be the guy that goes out every day and is like, here's a new shirt, photo. There's a lot of people doing that really well if you want to see all the new stuff. But if we eventually did live close enough just to go in wherever we wanted, I would still probably go every day just to see it for my own. Like I love seeing the new stuff and the new collections. Mm-hmm. And there's always a lot of them.
Yes.
I feel like, right?
Well, speaking of collections, the home collection, we have been actually keeping an eye out because we saw a paper towel holder that I was like, oh my gosh, we need this. Because it's got Mickey on it and it's super cute. Well, don't ask me why I didn't get it. We didn't get it. And then all of a sudden they were all gone across property. I could not find it. Every single home place I saw, whether it be Disney Springs, whether it be in every park, whether it be in almost every single resort.
Gift shop. Every single resort gift shop has this stuff. We looked for 6 months, I bet. If not longer.
I don't know. But the point is I thought they were gone and we were in Creations and I went to Spot Home and I see the paper towel holder and I was like, oh, and there's a lot of them. And I was like, I'm going to buy it right now. So I did. Because it's only $40 with, and then you get 20% off. I think it was like $32 or something.
And it's adorable. It's wood. It's got a little
so
Mickey
cute.
ear on top of the one dowel. And then it's basically got like a little figurine of Mickey almost as though he was pushing or holding up the paper towels, which is also the part, you can help rip them off. And then when we were there, I was like, let's get it now. Like we're going to go ahead and get it. Like we're going to have to carry, I'm going to have to carry this thing around on Cosmic Rewind. I'm going to take it wherever we go tonight. I was like, but that's fine. And I said, although I bet back at Coronado, they have it at Panchitos. And it was funny because when we went, they had one sitting out. Yeah, so I am very glad. Now, they may have had more in the back, but I'm so glad we got it then because if we had not, I guarantee we wouldn't have seen it again, right? It wouldn't have been at Panchitos. Somebody would have walked in like 10 minutes earlier and bought the last one. I'm trying to remember.
We looked at Springs and I did not see them.
Yeah.
I looked at a few other places and there might have been a few, but I was very excited.
Yeah.
So.
So my thought was, we've got a wonderful friend that is one of the leaders over at Cali Grill now in the lounge area that we went to see back in March and all. And so I'd message him and I was like, hey, is there any chance you're working July 3rd? Like, we'd love to see you. And we were thinking of coming up and kind of rope dropping the bar and lounge area there so we can grab a bite to eat. And then, we can go do whatever we want, but bring back our receipt and go ahead and watch the fireworks from the rooftop.
Yeah.
There, which would have been perfect because,
100%.
again, July 3rd. They do the same ones on the 4th. So we're like, all right, we got a monorail over, and I'm watching the time. And in my mind, I'm like, we need to be there no later at the check-in desk when they open up for the bar at 4:45. And so we did everything we could to get there. Had, one where you're walking up, there's a monorail. You're like, yay, this is perfect. And then they're closing the doors. And you just don't make it. So 10, 15 minutes later, the next one comes. So anyway, we're walking up to the check-in place at 5:02.
But yeah, 5:02, that's it.
Oh, yeah. And again, this is to give you little tips and advice. I understand it was July 3rd. I understand it's going to be a busy day.
Yeah.
But this is something you may want to look at if, Cali Bar and that lounge area is on your list. Mm-hmm. Show up around 4:30 to 4:40. They're going to start taking names at 4:45. You'll probably be good to go. At 5:02, unfortunately, the bar had filled up already, and she said, well, there's another group of 4 that's in front of you, probably be about 30 minutes to an hour. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm thinking there's no way it's 30 minutes to an hour because I know these people just sat. You know what I mean? It'd be one thing if we showed up at 6, and she was like, yeah, there's another group that's up there that's in front of you, probably be another 30 minutes to an hour, as though they had already been there. So we're like, all right, we got her name in, and then we were trying to figure out what to do. So I don't even remember who suggested it. It might have been me. What do we go do next? To wait. Well, we're going to wait for the text, whether it was going to be 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or maybe longer.
Yeah, so I didn't realize this was decided because I just start following and we walk into Steakhouse 71 and I was like, oh man, I kind of want a burger from here. But I thought we were going to California Grill Bar, so we sat to have a drink. They don't have any beers other than O'Doul's, unfortunately. So we sat there and had a snack, which was the onion rings, which was fantastic. They are hand breaded, with spicy ranch dipping sauce. Of course, it's plant-based for $10. How many was there?
There were at least 5?
5 or 6? 6,
yeah,
I think,
6.
Because we each had one.
And there were 2 more to split.
There might have been 2
yeah.
more to split.
They're huge.
They are.
Huge.
They were
monster
fantastic.
onion rings. They're amazing. I mean, nice, big, perfectly cooked onion inside. It's got that little bit of sweetness to it. I love an onion ring when you can bite into it and you actually are able to bite through the onion. Yeah. I hate when you go to bite one that first bite and the onion's still a little tough and you rip all the onion and you're just left with an empty hollow breading. Yeah. These were not like that.
Yeah, it was really
did you like
good.
the ranch? Their
did.
ranch? I didn't care for it, but I know you guys liked it. Yeah. I didn't even need it.
I tried it with it, and then I tried to bite without it, and it's very, very, just very good.
Yeah. So we decided, again, Rhonda's like, well, I kind of want the burger. We're like, Rhonda, we're going to go eat at Cali Grill, and so we went back up. And
Mike, our bartender was.
Oh yeah, talk about Mike, our bartender.
A lot.
At Steakhouse 71. He was enthusiastic.
Yes, and very just with everybody, and I think that might have been why we went a little bit earlier. Why Lucie and Caleb
I loved Mike. I thought he was hilarious.
Have any more drinks?
Yeah. He reminded me of when Billy Eichner does Billy on the Street.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what he was. I don't know why. I thought he was hilarious. I definitely understand that if you would like to go for a nice quiet maybe beverage with your friends or spouse at Steakhouse 71, he might be a lot. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. It was just funny.
I just thought it was like...
He was funny. I mean, it was, yeah.
Well, like there were people next to us and they're checking out. And he's like, all right, check you out. He's like, happy 4th of July. And then he looked at us and he's like, not you guys. You're not leaving yet. And he kept doing it.
Yeah.
And then I thought he was hilarious. But we did make our way out and back up to hang outside of Cali Grill and wait to be called. And
at this point, we were sitting out there and...
it's 6:30 now.
It was an hour and a half.
Yeah, so it'd been an hour and a half.
And then... we start talking about like
we need a plan B.
Right,
yeah.
Plan B. And what that would look like. Lucie and Caleb have not been to Waluulu Bar and Grill yet. So we were like, and then I believe we were fearful at this point that some rain and major thunderstorms were going to set in.
Yeah.
So we headed over to Polly.
And then our thought at this point is, we could go through all of this. Also, we found out our friend had his days off wrong, so he wasn't even working at Cali.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a major reason we were going. That was honestly number one reason.
Yeah.
Number two was like, oh, we can also see fireworks. Cool. But at this point, we're like, we could wait another 30 minutes, hour and a half. We don't know how long we'll wait. Mm-hmm. And one, we're not going to get to see our friend.
Right.
And two, we're not 100% sure fireworks will go off tonight at all.
Right.
So let's not base our whole evening in what we do around fireworks, when in reality, it's about us just having some good food and hanging out and, maybe them seeing some places they hadn't been at that point. So we came up with plan B to head to Walulu.
Right. So
Not a great plan B, by the way.
No.
I know that.
So we go over there and then I think Jeremy forgot that you could look at the walk-up list until he saw, and then there was nothing.
It said nothing.
Then we walked inside and there was 7 people deep waiting to speak to somebody with the iPad, whether it be they're checking in or whether it be they're trying to wait. And then the lobby area was so full of people that even Lucy was like, they've got to be waiting for all so then we went ahead and was like,
had plan C.
Let's talk about plan C. And at this point too, I think it even started to rain. So we were like, all right, let's call it. And plan C is Three Bridges back at our resort.
Yeah.
We'll be home. We can eat there, and then we can
chill, whatever we want to do. And one of our friends, Carol, that is one of the servers at Three Bridges, I'd already been in touch with her, and she was going to be working. So my goal was to stop by there regardless, but I thought it was going to be later at night and really to stop in, say hey, see her, and be on our way. And so I was like, all right, we're coming now. So we got there, and we saw 4 spots at the bar. I mean, I joined a walk-up list, but I was like, we got 4 spots at the bar. Let's go sit.
But the walk-up list, let's see, did it estimate our wait?
Yeah, it was somewhere around 50 minutes, I want to say.
Okay.
So not awful, but we just thought, hey, there's spots at the bar. And we have no guarantee of getting Carol as our server if we do the walk-up list. You know what I mean?
Right. So then it was funny because not only was it raining when we were leaving Walulu, which of course it's Florida, so it can be raining there, but obviously not. So we got over to Three Bridges and it wasn't raining yet.
No, not yet.
So when we were walking, we were actually going to walk past to go to our room to kind of hang out in our room until they were called. But we saw there was 4 bar seats and we're like, you know what? And then when we were going to sit, I was like, this is probably the best possible case scenario because some of Three Bridges' seats, if you're sat and it starts raining hard and the wind blows, you could get wet. Yeah. To be honest.
We have before.
Correct.
100%. So yeah, the bar was just a great spot.
So the bar is the best spot to be. And it was just great. Tanner was working. Haven't seen him in a while, so it was neat.
He's been there since like day one. We got to know him a bit. So they have a hibiscus mint limonada there. We've had before. It's premium lemonade, hibiscus grenadine, mint soda water for $6.29. It's light. It's delicious. It's refreshing. They do not have any non-alcoholic beers yet, for anyone that's wondering. We did ask them, and they said for about 3 or 4 months they have been trying to get Heineken Zero there. If you are unaware, there are many strings that must be pulled for changes to be made at Disney-owned restaurants.
Which is sad.
Yeah, it is. And this is a Disney-owned restaurant. And so something that might seem as simple as, hey, let's get a non-alcoholic beer. Some people are starting to ask for it. Then, it takes a while. And I don't, again, it's so hard to tell. Is it me now noticing, or has this been what it's been like for the past however long?
I agree.
I notice people ordering non-alcoholic beers.
I do too.
So much more than I ever did before, right?
I noticed too, like, I feel like when we get one.
I saw 2 people get athletics when we were at Bar Riva.
I did too.
At a table.
And I was like, I saw it being, and I was like, I'm the one who thinks, and I don't know if you think this way too, but I think like, oh, they have to dust off the cobwebs because nobody
that's what I feel
ever sits.
Are they even
and
cold?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but when I see it go out to other people, I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to like.
I know, me being me, I just want to go and be like, why'd you get a non-alcoholic beer?
Yeah,
I'm
mean,
curious.
Yeah.
And I do have those curiosities now, especially because I just start to learn more and more about myself and addiction and all that. Like, I even, I'm trying to think where we were. It might have been the pool, and I saw mom, dad, they had kids, and he was drinking, I think, a non-alcoholic beer. And I just thought to myself, is that what he normally drinks? Or is he drinking it because he's with his kids and he wants a taste of a beer, but he doesn't want the alcohol? So I do find that very interesting. This is a place that is so ripe for some incredible zero proof, legit cocktails using, whether it's Liars or Seedlip or whatever. I hope it's something they can get, but I also know that they're probably going through a lot to try and get it. Disney is focusing on the new places like Geo82, developing those menus, Beacon Barrel that's coming. These places I think that they're putting a lot of their focus on. So unfortunately, incredible places like Three Bridges aren't getting to make some of the changes they wish they could.
Right.
With that being said, though, we did get some food here. This has been on the menu not that long, but maybe a year or so now. The patacon is one of their appetizers.
So good.
It eats like a meal. Let me tell you.
Does.
It is crispy tostones, chicken tinga, cilantro crema, cojita cheese, and pico de gallo for $14. It is a massive bowl, 3 giant crispy tostones, topped with mounds of shredded chicken and toppings. It is a lot. So it's either an extremely shareable appetizer or kind of what I did, which was my meal. Right?
Yeah.
What did you really want? Because you didn't get your Steakhouse 71 burger. And again, this is another change to their menu recently. Yeah. We also found out it's going to change again in August.
Yes. And this is the Three Bridges signature burger. So it did change. And this is pineapple salsa,
Oaxaca
cheese, mustard, arugula, bacon, beer battered onion ring for $22. So I don't like warm. Yes, I am very strange, and I do not like a warm pineapple, period. I don't like pineapple. I like pineapple only out of the cold section pineapple.
Like
I don't,
cold, yeah.
I don't like it in cottage cheese. I don't like it. I just like to eat it. I don't want it on anything.
People are eating pineapple and cottage cheese together? That sounds gross.
Yeah.
Is the acid from the pineapple and like the dairy, does that not curdle or do something weird?
You mix it together, like when you go to eat it, you don't have it. I
know, that still sounds weird. Anyways,
the point is
I'm wondering actually, because
some people like it on other things and everything. I just do not. So with that being said, the salsa, I was like, can I get on the side?
And the mustard, because I wanted to at least be able to have a bite.
Then yes, you wanted that. So I asked for both and they said yes.
Yep. So burger came, split it. Also,
I gave you the salsa.
You did. You gave me the salsa. I put it on my half. You took the mustard, put it on your half. I thought it was outstanding. I loved it. It's a great burger.
I do too.
It's not as good as their. Here's one thing I wish they would do. Rename it, please, when you change it. You know what I mean? Because to be fair, and John Self obviously keeps up with so much food and updates. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
And you can go to mainstmagic.com, go to our news. You're going to constantly see articles, blogs from him about updates about new things. Like, I personally didn't know that they had updated the burger again.
Right.
So if, based on the last one, we tell people, go get their signature burger. It's still really good. It's not as good as the original, but we love this one too. They go get this one, and let's just say it's not good. And be like, well, they're stupid. Why did they tell me? And I don't even know this is the Virgin. Give it a different name, man.
Or it's a better one.
Oh, yeah.
That we're like, it's okay.
Right. We could say it's not that great.
And they're like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, I wish that they would at least change the name. Yeah. But I thought it was fabulous. You got a medium right burger cook, so they're asking you.
Yep. It was great.
Number one, yay. Right?
Yep.
I loved it. The only thing that I now want everyone to do is grill that bottom bun. Because by the time it gets to you, it is soggy.
It was, but it was still great.
Yeah, but it's great because, they don't say it here, but I would assume they are using the same blend that they've been using, which is a blend of chorizo and beef for their burger patty. And, like, it's a very flavorful patty that you taste. I think all the toppings are done well. Like, the one onion ring isn't overpowering. The bacon was super crispy. Like, I still thought it was an outstanding burger.
Yeah.
And then it comes
I'm
with the
excited for
paprika
August.
fries. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. And then I asked Tanner, because they have yuca fries that come with some stuff. I said, can we get a side of yuca fries? He's like, no problem. And then I noticed that they have this chimichurri with their steak, I think that it is, and yuca. And I was like, and hey, Tanner, if like a little side of chimichurri shows up, I won't be mad. So it's wonderful. Of course, Tanner gave us a side of yuca and a side of the chimichurri. These yuca fries are great. If you want the best yuca fries, though, on property, they've been at Nomad Lounge for us.
Yeah.
Like these, I actually didn't love the chimichurri, but I'm thinking more and more that's one of the, like, I don't know if it's like I get older. I don't like pesto and chimichurri as much as I used to. They're so oily for me.
Oh.
So I didn't eat a lot of it with the chimichurri, and on their own, they still needed something, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what that is. Whereas I don't think the ones at Nomad like have to have some sort of dipping sauce. But it was outstanding. And then we wanted to end, of course, with dessert. So what did you ask Tanner for?
Well, of course, warm churros, but
course.
I was like, do you have ice cream? And actually, they did.
Yeah.
And I got a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And then I dipped my warm churros in it and ate it. And they were freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, outstanding. You know, they've got these sauces. They have a tequila caramel that I actually like. It has heavy flavors of tequila, though. A spiced chocolate sauce that is a really good chocolate sauce with a little kick of kind of cayenne or chili in the back. And then they have like this mango preserve thing that if you think it's the chocolate sauce when you first dip in it and then you eat it, you will be very surprised, I will say. So we ended up the night at Three Bridges, and then the next day... we had kind of already planned, like, you know, Lucie, Saturday, and Caleb were going to have to get up at like 5 a.m. They had like a 7 a.m. flight around there. And so we knew that the actual July 4th night, they weren't going to plan to do a lot. And honestly, we just were okay with that. Like, we were cool if we ended up hanging around, you know, Coronado. We wanted to hit up Disney Springs, you know, for the day and all, maybe do some shopping and grab something to eat. But you and I had a slight task. First, real quick, we'll just... kind of mention, because this is an experience that we had never done. And you call it an experience, right? Maybe?
I guess so. Yeah. We were tasked to get some friends a hat embroidered with their name on it. And in Magic, and I wanted to go to Magic Kingdom because Jeremy did look it up, and they are at Springs. But wanted to go in Magic Kingdom, and I didn't know exactly 100% where it was, but I thought it was over by Minnie and Mickey.
Yeah, in that town square.
It is. It's in that very back corner when you're actually coming out. The exit is right there. So we went there. But first, you got me coffee from Barcelona.
I did, yeah. Yeah, we went down.
Jeremy woke up that morning.
I was up real early.
Very early.
Yeah, I left our room at 5:50 in the morning. I wanted y'all to sleep, and I have a project that I'm working on that I went down, and I was like, you know what? I'm up. I'm thinking. I'm going to grab my laptop. I'm going to go down. I'll get myself a coffee, and then at least I'll be down there. Because I didn't take a room key or anything. I was going to be like, I'm going to be stuck here. So I was like, I'll stay down here. It'll get me to work some. And then, you know, when you guys wake up, if I need to grab some coffees to go bring them back, I will. Whatever it is. But Shellady was the cast member that took my order. I was wearing my Be Nice to cast member shirt. And she was like, oh, I love your shirt. And she said... she tells her husband all the time. She sees him on Etsy, and she's like, I need to go get one. And I was like, well, look, here's my email. Just email me one. I'll send you one. And she was like, oh, thank you. She said, I already have my Don't Touch the Scare Actor shirt, because her son is a scare actor over at Halloween Horror Nights.
That's awesome.
Which was really cool. So I kind of chatted with her about that a little bit. She was telling me what he did last year, what house he'll actually be in this year. He was like an attendant last year. He's going to be an actual scare actor in one of the houses this year.
Wow.
So I'm just going to go through all the houses and just yell his name out and see if he answers.
Okay.
No, I know I'd only have to do it in one house because I know what house he's in. But no, so it was just really nice talking to her. And yeah, so I got myself a little coffee and sat there. And then Caleb woke up and was texting me, and I was like, I can either bring y'all something back and come down here. I got your coffee order. Caleb came down and got something for him and Lucy, and then he and I both checked out with Shelody again. So it was great to see her. Then we made our way to Magic Kingdom.
Yes,
but
we
thank
did.
you for actually going in order of the notes that I put together.
Yeah. So then we unfortunately we passed by the hats and we did not go in immediately and order them. So I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead and say that if that's something you're wanting, go ahead and do first. Because Jeremy looked and saw that Haunted was a walk-on, and Liv and Riley and Maddie were there, and we wanted to meet up with them. So unfortunately, we did that first instead of go the hats because in hindsight, when we got the hats done, I said, is there approximately estimated time? Now, again, it is July 3rd.
Yeah.
She looked at me and was like, no, we close when the park closes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, we just, I mean, and it's understood. We're not expecting like, hey, do it.
Oh.
But if we were just hoping it could at least be like, well, there's 3 people in front of you. There's 8. It might be
Right.
2 hours. It might be
Right.
30 minutes. We can't guarantee it.
Right.
But it would give us a time frame. That's
Right.
all. Yeah.
So there was no time frame. So
No.
we left. And with that being said, there was only about an hour.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I got the text that, when it would, and then an hour later I did. So I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. But I think it's a great tip. If you're doing anything like this, wherever
100%.
it is, if it's at a park, it's at Disney Springs, if you have something that you want to get customized, and there are plenty of them. Heck, we walked
They
in.
bought shirts.
We walked in for the first time ever into the Pele soccer store at Disney Springs. And they do custom jerseys there they'll put your name on. If you're going to go to Disney Springs to get a Pele soccer jersey or whoever's with your name on it at that store, do it first and then say, let's go eat. Let's go do whatever, and we'll wait for it because it's not going to be immediate. It's something common sense would tell most people, but again, I just threw common sense to the wind apparently this entire trip and flew by the seat of my pants. So we did get to ride Haunted though with Liv and the girls, which was great.
And then we went to the hat store that is new.
We did in Frontierland.
In Frontierland, which and the main reason because it was such a coincidence that and I think was it Caleb showed Lucy or Lucy.
Yeah, one of them saw on
and then
TikTok or Instagram.
Sent to you, and it was just crazy. So I wanted to go see because I wanted to see. I was like, I'll have 2 hats if there's Disney stuff.
Yeah. And just rewind if you didn't listen to the last episode.
Oh,
Rhonda got a hat at Yellow Rose at Kendra Scott in Austin. That was kind of custom made and put together with all these different embellishments you can choose, styles of hats. And this is basically what this same place is.
Yes, it is.
It's just brands, I guess. It's all kinds of brands of hats and styles. It's not a specific, for example, Yellow Rose.
Right.
So.
Or Stetson.
Right.
But I picked up a hat that was $120, I believe. Jeremy picked up one that was $90.
Yeah. They were cheaper. Did you pick up some of the cheaper hats? I don't know what they're made of, but it felt like plastic.
Yeah, I did.
It was weird.
But
some of those were like $30. So understandable. But I can't imagine wearing this big piece of plastic on my head.
yeah. I don't know. But what I do know is I was very sad because all the embellishments, nothing was Disney. There was a few things that looked.
We'll say they were
Knockoff?
Disney adjacent.
Yeah.
Right? So they were not Disney branded at all, but they had like a tiki head that you go, oh, this kind of looks like Polly. They had a bird that was orange. I think they had some sort of frozen treat that had a color similar to that of a pineapple, but none of them were actually Dole Whip or Orange Bird or the Polynesian.
Right.
So, yeah.
With that being said, this is new.
Yeah.
I would like to give it some time
100%.
and see if Disney does all of a sudden find stuff or start stuff, because I am not opposed to going back in there. And if it is legit Disney, go ahead and maybe getting something.
Well, and what was nice about their little pins or whatever you would call them, you said they were all magnetic, correct?
I did see that, which I don't know how I feel about that, to be 1,000% honest.
I think, assuming they hold well, which I would think they would, I think it's such a great idea because you don't have to poke a hole in your hat. So, you could easily go in and buy one hat, and let's just say Disney does start coming out with all these different Disney branded ones, the way that
true.
Pandora does.
Yeah.
You could say, you know what? I got a whole handful of ones I'm going to use when I wear this hat during Halloween or Christmas or, 4th of July, the way we were. So I think it'd be cool. And they had some other ones that were like small top hats. They had one with like kind of a faux haunted mansion background.
That was expensive, wasn't it?
That one was like $120. They had one that had some feathers and some red around it that looked a little bit like a Dr. Facilier. So I think there's definitely some cool options there for stuff. But
yeah.
So we said, okay, we're going to head over to Disney Springs because we have no idea how long these embroidered hats that we got and ordered are going to take.
And plus, Lucie and Caleb were on their way.
They're already on their way to Disney Springs. So we're like, we'll go over there and we'll just figure out getting by magic later. Like, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Here's some ways we can do it.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and we walked out the front of Magic Kingdom. Of course, there are no buses that will go direct from parks to Springs. Mm-hmm. So we walked on over to Contemporary. Yep. It's a nice short walk. It's a great way to get to places you need to go because we just waited and got on a bus to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. And the bus came pretty quickly. Got on the bus and went over. They were sitting at Homecoming. Mm-hmm. When we did get on the bus and the new bus drop off.
Yeah.
They now have finally implemented, which is it's good and sad because
shouldn't have taken this long for one.
Well, right, but it's security.
Yes.
So anytime you go through, in park, you come in, mm-hmm. you have to go through security. But anytime you're on a bus and you come in, you never have to go.
No. Yeah, Springs has them if you drive in park at any of the lots. They have them if you get an Uber in, mm-hmm. right? Like there's areas that you have to go through a security. Even walking from all the Disney Springs hotels there on Hotel Plaza and all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to go through security. They've never had it, which is weird because, you can't get on the monorail without going through security from a resort. Now, obviously, once you get to that park, once you get to Magic Kingdom or Epcot or whatever, they've already done Magic Kingdom at least, they've already done those security measures, at the resort if you got on the monorail, which is nice. But I was glad to see it. If you're going to implement safety, then implement it everywhere, right? So they finally did.
Yep. So just a note, though, because when the buses come and a lot of people get off, mm-hmm. it can back up a little bit. I did see a very pretty decent line when we were coming out trying to get onto a bus to leave to go home.
And 80% of the people that are going through security will forget that how to walk in a line.
Mm-hmm. A single file line. Keep walking.
Yep.
Don't stop.
It's very hard sometimes to understand directions, like if you have an umbrella or sunglasses case, please hold it out in front of you. So again, it's just something to know, as we talk about our missteps the night before and trying to get from Epcot to Cali Grill and only having a short time period, there is a reason that Disney says 90 minutes to get anywhere on property. Part of that might include security and some people who don't know how to use it. Mm-hmm. So just a heads up.
Yep. So I ran into Sephora and got me and Lacey some Summer Fridays lip gloss. And then we headed to meet Lucie and Caleb over at Homecoming. Mm-hmm. They had the thigh-high chicken biscuits, and these come with 3. And there was one sitting there. I was very excited. Yes, because he went ahead and said, go ahead and eat it, and we saved it. And I was like, oh. And so then there was pickles on it, but you didn't eat the top bun. You took a small.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure there's 2 other people I love just dining with and stuff like this than Lucie and Caleb. One, we all have very similar tastes for the most part, I think. Like, it's just nice. And the fact that they got these biscuits and were like, you know what, Ron and Jeremy are on their way. Let's just save them one. I thought was awesome. So yeah, Caleb, I think you went to the bathroom or something when we got there maybe. And
no.
Okay. Well, anyway, Caleb was like, hey, we got a biscuit for you. And then he's like, oh, these have pickles, don't they? So he went and he opened the top for me. I didn't say a word. And he already took the top off. He saw where the pickles were placed. He took the top bun. He was like, look, there's this section. If you just want to eat it almost like open faced. So I cut a piece off and ate some chicken and biscuit.
I ate the rest. And
you did eat the rest. Yeah.
Fabulous.
These are fabulous.
Fabulous.
I love them hot and fresh. just because they did a little dry, but the flavors and all. I mean, still the biscuit is flaky.
So good.
The chicken is crispy. Everything about this is good.
Yeah. They're $20.
Yeah. For 3 of them, though. But again, this thing eats like a meal, which I love. I asked if they had any non-alcoholic beers, and they actually have, which I think has happened very recently.
Yeah, because John.
Yeah, because when John found out, I think he said, we were there like a week ago and they didn't have it. When John does a lot of these media events and tastings, he will either be with folks who drink alcohol and tell them about it, or he'll take a sip just to get an idea, but he's not a drinker. So, he keeps an eye out too for a lot of non-alcoholic beverages, not only for me, but we're finding out more and more. That's what our listeners and followers are interested in too, some of them. So they actually have, which is nice. It's not O'Doul's. It's not Heineken. It's not Athletic that you find everywhere else. They have a special effects non-alcoholic IPA by Brooklyn Brewery.
Yeah.
It is an IPA, like any
hoppy.
IPA. It's hoppy. It's delicious.
But it's a great sipping beer.
One. Yeah. And Brooklyn Brewery is a great brewery. It's got tons of flavor. It is a perfect beer to sit there at homecoming and sip on with your friends. And, they'll give you a nice cold glass. So it was nice to see that. We wanted to get some Salt and Straw because they have their berry flavor of the month. And Lucie, we found out last weekend, loves huckleberry.
Yes, she does.
And one of the flavors of the month is huckleberry cornbread pudding. So this is wild harvested huckleberry ice cream mixed with buttery buttermilk cornbread pudding and chewy cornbread pieces. Along with this, for the month, they have birthday cakes with blackberries. They have Oishi strawberry pretzel salad. They have a goat cheese Marionberry habanero. And then their vegan one is banana bread with strawberry jam. So what did you try? What did you end up doing?
I tried the birthday cake with blackberries because
I did too,
I wanted it, and we have learned and we taught Lucie to try hers as well. She did get the huckleberry cornbread pudding. She loved it. She just got it in a cup.
Yeah.
I didn't taste it.
I did.
But I tasted the birthday cake with blackberries because it is literally salted vanilla ice cream swirled with rainbow birthday cake crumbles and ribbons of juicy blackberry jam. I love blackberries. I love birthday cake ice cream. This was like right up my alley. And this was fantastic. I tasted it. I thought it was good. I got it in a waffle cone because I love their waffle cones.
Yeah.
I did not taste anything else.
Yeah, I thought I tasted it, the birthday cake and blackberries.
You did.
Have a taste in case I wanted it. I thought it was really good.
Which was funny because you didn't get anything.
I didn't.
These.
So you were getting the birthday cake and blackberries. So I was like, I'm just not going to get it. And to be honest, I wasn't really in a berry mood. I think.
Right.
I wasn't in a very good mood. I did also try the goat cheese Marionberry habanero. This is a tangy goat cheese ice cream meets spicy, slightly sweet Marionberry habanero jam swirl. This is the kind of crazy stuff that Salt and Straw comes up with that flat out works. It was delicious. For me personally, I didn't think it was something that I would enjoy an entire scoop of.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So yeah, bite or two I would have loved. If you got it, I probably would have been like, can I get an extra bite or two? I just didn't want a whole thing. So I went with my salted malted cookie dough one that I love and a waffle cone. It's outstanding. I love Salt and Straw. I feel that in the past 6 months or so, for me personally, a lot of their monthly series are starting to lean towards the side of I'm just not a big fan of them. Their classics I still think are great. And when they have a monthly series that hits, it hits well. For me personally, though, I know their whole thing is these weird flavors that work. I just think that they're starting to get so crazy that for me, some of them aren't working anymore.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we'll see what they do next month.
Yeah.
And I could still go back there any day of the week and get the caramel ribbon. I could get the salted malted chocolate chip. Like I still love everything else.
Yeah.
So from there, we were going to head to do a little shopping. Did the rain start yet or?
No. So Lucie and Caleb are the type of people that are like, okay, now I've done these 2 things. What I wanted was Salt and Straw and, Homecoming.
Yeah.
So now what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And Caleb mentioned Jock Lindsey's. So we were at Salt and Straw and headed back over the bridge. And so that was first because we talked about going through, of course, World of Disney and checking to see the cell phone cases And
OtterBox is making mag-safe Disney cases now, and OtterBox are such great quality. They've got like lifetime guarantees. I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Yes.
Is that what mine is? We have not seen the case that I want in that size.
Yeah.
So we keep looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we stopped in Jock Lindsey's because it was first, which I didn't care, whatever.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic though, because as like before, the rain started moving in and then it downpoured, and like also the lightning. I don't know if the lightning hit something or near someone, but unfortunately when we were leaving, first of all, we were in Jock Lindsey's, so I hope everything's okay.
Yeah. We had to stay there for quite a while for this rain to wait out, which we've done before.
We saw lightning and thunder immediately came after, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but this is a thing apparently, that when a lightning strikes and you see the lightning, you start counting 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, and that's how many miles away it is. So basically, it lightning and thundered. So it was
you couldn't get out of one. You couldn't even get out of start.
You couldn't get a one.
It was on top of us.
It was, and it was. Hopefully, like I said, everything's okay. There was quite a few fire people that we saw, and then there was fire trucks when we were leaving.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it was funny because we were at Jock Lindsey's, and this happened before, where I went to Gideon's because of course people would leave the line.
Yeah.
That it took a lot for them to leave, and it did get down kind of where I could have gone over and stayed and like been very close to getting in.
Not giving up though.
But there was some people I was like, dang.
Yeah, that is
I did
dedicated.
not though, because there was nothing that I was like, all right, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Like it's so I was like, it's fine. So but we just hung out in Jock Lindsey's.
Yeah. So
and
they're
waited
doing
for the
Florida.
rain.
Yeah, they're doing Florida Fresh right now throughout. And for part of Florida Fresh at Jock Lindsey's, they have a Liar's Pink London. It's called Palm Paradise, and it's Liar's Pink London non-alcoholic spirit, strawberry puree, cream of coconut, lime juice, and simple syrup, garnished with a strawberry half. Of course, non-alcoholic. Jock Lindsey's. I don't know if it gets enough credit for the amazing cocktails that they do, right? They do incredible, inventive cocktails. So many you can't find anywhere else. So I had a lot of faith in them doing a really good zero proof type of cocktail. I thought it was great. It was light. It was refreshing. It was great for a hot summer day. Of course, we were being bombarded with rain at the moment. But to me, I think this is one. And even if you decided that, hey, we're going to blend it and freeze it, this should be at every pool bar across property. I think. And while the flavors were great, I still prefer the non-alcoholic pina colada that they're doing at Walulu. Mm-hmm. This is very close though with it's adding that strawberry flavor. Is almost like a strawberry pina colada, a non-frozen strawberry pina colada. So I thought it was great. I was really glad that they had that there. And if it's something that were to stick around on the menu after Florida Fresh, it would be my go-to there, because the other non-alcoholic beverages they have are really geared towards children, and they are, soda waters and fruit juices. Mm-hmm. So this was a true mocktail. So I thought it was great.
Yep. Good. Then, we just went shopping, looked around, and then they went to Polite Pig because that's what Caleb wanted. So we then weren't really hungry and went ahead and went on back to Magic Kingdom, which was really great because we literally hopped on a bus to the Contemporary, which this was Wilderness Lodge and Contemporary.
Yes,
so we got on that.
It goes to Wilderness Lodge first.
It does.
Yep.
So
I have no thoughts on that whatsoever.
So we got on that, and then we walked right all over. I mean, it couldn't have been easier and quicker. Yeah. We got it. We walked right. No, actually, that's when we were gonna walk right back out, but the parade was right about to start. And John and Susan were there, so they came over and we watched the parade together. That was super cool.
It was. Obviously it got so much busier later, but when we were there in the morning, wait times were all very, very low, and they started to increase as we were leaving and all. But even right now, right there in front of the train station, there was rarely too deep of people standing and waiting. And in fact, somebody left right before the parade started, and we moved right in for a front row seat. I actually sat down.
Yep.
John had his high def 4K camera and also actually filmed the whole Fantasy of Festival parade that we'll throw up on the YouTube channel. But it was like the most perfect seat.
Yep.
You know, we hadn't watched that parade in a long time. We've
neat.
caught it, but we hadn't watched
Yep.
it. So did that, and then we sat and chatted with them for a little bit, caught up with them, and then it was time to make our way back to Coronado, which is perfect because now from Magic Kingdom, you walk right out front to the bus stops, and you got all your resorts. We head to Coronado. So absolutely perfect.
Yep. And then they were back in the room, so then we got our bathing suits on and got in the pool before it stormed again, which was great.
Pool
and
was
then
packed, man.
It
There
was.
so many people there.
It was.
And we were like, all right, is this because of the rain? Or like, did people not decide to go to parks so they're staying here? Or because I didn't expect it to be so crowded with, you know, it being July 4th now. I thought a lot of people would be in the parks or they'd stay away from the pool because of the rain, but they didn't.
Nope.
Everybody was out there and it was great. And every single pool was doing wristbands to get into the pool for that day.
Yep.
Doesn't matter that you can't see fireworks from Coronado really or the pool. They were still doing wristbands.
Yep.
So if you think July 4th is going to be a great day to sneak into a property pool that, you know, you want to go hang out in, not a good time. They're going to ask for proof that you're staying on property.
Yeah. So we went and hung in the pool for a little bit and then went to the pool bar. And they have old duels there, but we wanted a snack and they had kielbasa kettle chips. This is layered crispy kettle chips topped with kielbasa sausage, finished with a drizzle of chipotle aioli, pico de gallo, crispy fried jalapenos, and a sprinkle of fresh green onions for $14. I thought this was
Feed an army.
great.
I mean, it fed all four of us. It was a lot.
Okay.
It was a lot.
Okay.
It's a whole tub full of chips,
Yeah.
sliced kielbasa, and then all kinds of toppings.
Yeah. Lucy didn't eat any. Me, Caleb, and Jeremy did. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
It was all right. I wouldn't get it again.
Oh.
I didn't love it.
Okay.
I liked the
did.
kielbasa. I liked the kettle chips. I thought the toppings were a lot. And I just made the decision. Kettle chips are delicious. You don't have to put anything on them. There's no need.
Yeah. Well,
And I thought kielbasa was a weird choice.
okay.
You know, because they have a lot of new menu items that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
You know, wow, they went back because they kind of went away from that, Mexican influence of tacos and quesadillas and stuff, and now it's all back. Their menu looks great.
Yeah.
Like I would go here just to eat a lunch.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, then after that, Lucy and Caleb were going to stay in the room, and Jeremy was hungry and wanted to go up to Dahlia. And I'm trying to remember when, I think it was around 7:30 when we got up there,
That
give
sounds
or
about right.
take.
Yeah.
Maybe a little prior to that. But it was probably the most perfect time
Yeah. it
because
was.
we got pretty much the last two bar seats at the bar.
Yep.
And then
swarms of people, I swear, just started coming in.
It did.
Like it was
crazy.
it was almost like somebody
And the
just was
bartender,
like, hey, this is the place to be right now.
the bartender Amy did say that once the fireworks are done, they'll really die down.
Yeah.
We left about 8:10ish, maybe 8:15, because we were like, we're not gonna sit here for an hour.
Yeah.
But
You could only catch the Epcot fireworks from that location, which were
Right.
going off at 9. And I've already shared how I feel about standing outside at Dahlia Lounge.
Yes.
So
yeah, so with all that being said, we were mainly there to get something to eat. So we went ahead and got the calamari, which is crispy calamari, sweet pepper confit, and roasted garlic aioli for $16. And the Dahlia sliders, which is beef with chorizo spice, crispy serrano ham, manchego, and sweet pepper relish on a brioche poppy seed bun for $14. There's 3 of them. I was not very hungry, so I just ate some of the calamari. I took 1 bite of the sliders.
how'd you like the calamari?
The calamari was
It
fantastic.
was perfect.
All rings.
Yep.
Very lightly fried.
Salty.
It was fantastic. The garlic
sweet
aioli
peppers.
was amazing. All of it.
I love the sweet
It was
peppers.
great.
The only thing I wish it had more sweet peppers, because when you got like a bite or two of the calamari with a sweet pepper, it was just perfect. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even need a sauce.
It was great.
It was great. We were washing that down. They do have a Panche de Fuertes They do have the same hibiscus lemonade up here with the mint, but this is different. This is something they don't have down at Three Bridges. It's pomegranate juice, sweet and sour, pineapple, blackberry, lime, and soda water for $5.99. That sweet and sour gives it just the perfect little kick to make it just a nice kind of relaxing style mocktail. So I really enjoyed that.
Good.
How did you like your one bite of the Dahlia sliders?
I thought it was good, very good. I'll let you, because it was funny. I wanted to taste it because the way you were.
Oh my Lord. These are incredible. Absolutely incredible. Hear me out. If you turn this into a full-side burger and put it on the Three Bridges menu in August when they say they're getting a new burger, it's going to be fighting for best burger on property. The flavors of everything here was perfect.
Yeah.
The poppy seed brioche bun was so soft.
It was great.
Delicious. Yeah. The chorizo blend and the beef had a ton of great flavor. It was medium cooked, had a slight little pink in that slider. All of the toppings, which, I was talking to Caleb beforehand and we're reading it. You're like, it's got ham and manchego and pepper relish and all this stuff. That could be a lot. Every topping was the perfect amount so that you didn't lose the taste of the beef or the bun. Like, I thought it was outstanding. Man, as far as sliders go, I don't know. I'd have to do a side-by-side with this and the filet mignon sliders at Boathouse.
Oh, wow.
To determine which slider is better. Okay. Because but the filet mignon sliders are classic.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, like, if you like steak, you will like those sliders no matter what. Right. I could understand if maybe you had these sliders and you're like, well, I don't really love the sweet pepper relish or something like that. But if you do, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I honestly almost wish that I had gotten another order to take back to the room. Really? Yeah.
That's funny.
So we finished off the night there, and it's funny because we didn't see a firework. Nope. And that was okay for us. Yep. Like, again, this was about being with our friends and connecting with some wonderful cast members and friends we hadn't seen in a long time. I just thought it was great. I love Coronado so much. I still do. Yeah. I just absolutely love it. Just to actually get to be there and spend some time. So I thought it was just perfect. We talked about next year, maybe, planning a little better to actually see the fireworks. So we'll see how that goes. Right? Yeah. But again, as always, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. I'm actually taking Kaylin and Talon to Disney this upcoming weekend. Rhonda's doing a girls' weekend with Lacey and some other folks down in Miami. So I'm sure we'll hear a little bit about that on a future episode. And then I'll have Kaylin actually come on to talk about our trip that we're doing. So you'll get to hear her thoughts on her first time back in the parks in quite some time. So if you want to hear those, hit subscribe and you get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Of course, myself and Rhonda, we would be very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.